about 40% of everything you'll do today isn't a conscious decision at all. It's pure autopilot, the brain's habit loop steering your wallet while you're busy thinking about something else. Now multiply that invisible force by the next 365 days and ask yourself, who's really in charge of your money? Take just one reflex most people shrug off. 3 takeaway coffees a week. Harmless. That cozy ritual quietly evaporates around £530 a year. Cash that could have wiped out a bill, built an emergency buffer, or started compounding instead of cooling in a cardboard cup. Stick with me for the next few minutes and you'll collect 20 habit shifts engineered to flip those sneaky drains into automatic wealth builders. Habit number 14 alone can claw back more cash this month than most beginners invest all year. But that twist is still ahead. Ready to rewire the autopilot? Habit 1, the weekly grocery blitz. Walk into a modern supermarket and you're staring at roughly 39,000 separate products, each one engineered to whisper, treat yourself. Every extra trip multiplies that gauntlet of temptation and burns time. 2 bonus visits a week easily swallow an extra hour in queues and aisles. 52 uncharged hours a year switch to a single list-driven shop. Meal plan first, shop once, then force creativity when something runs out instead of dashing back for just one thing that morphs into 10. Habit 2, skill up cooking. Treat cooking like any other skill you'd happily practice. Guitar, coding, weightlifting. When researchers priced popular recipe kit meals, they found buying the exact same ingredients yourself slashed the cost by up to 74%. That price gap is pure margin. You can redirect to investments and you still level up your health and self-reliance. Start with one new scratch recipe each week. Keep the hits in a notebook, ditch the misses. Habit 3, pack the lunch and coffee combo. A UK study of 2,000 adults shows millennials are now coughing up £728 a year, almost £60 a month, on takeaway coffee alone. Brew at home, pour into an insulated cup, and brown bag lunch 3 days a week. Even at £3.40, a cafe cup, skipping 4 a week frees £707 in 12 months. Enough to wipe out a small credit card balance or seed an emergency fund. Habit 4, home workout hustle. Britons are on track to torch £503 million this year on gym memberships they stopped using after just a few months. Swap the guilt trip for a free YouTube routine or a neighborhood jog. If you're one of the 27% who quit by March, cancelling on day 1 of your I'll go tomorrow slump can rescue £250 to £360 a year. Health wins, wallet wins. Habit 5. Set a named goal. Money with no mission drifts. The UK Money and Pension Service found that 70% of regular savers have thought a great deal or fair amount about their financial goals versus just 46% of non-savers. A gap that shows focus drives follow-through. Pick one concrete target, wipe a £1,200 credit card balance, build a £3,000 emergency pot, fund a ski trip, and label it everywhere. Phone wallpaper, banking app nickname, even a sticky note on the kettle. Your brain will start treating each pound as a step toward that finish line. Habit 6, the reward loop, or pay you first. Before rent, before Netflix, skim a slice for future you. Behavior pros call it pay yourself first, and advocates suggest a simple 80-20 split. Move 20% of each payday straight to savings. live on the remaining 80. Automating that transfer flips saving from willpower to default, and the tiny dopamine hit of watching the balance grow replaces the old thrill of spending. Want extra motivation? Rename the account after your goal number 5, so every deposit feels like a reward, not a sacrifice. Habit 7, the annual expense calendar. Birthdays, MOTs, Christmas, the dog's booster jab, irregular costs are budget wreckers because we treat them as unexpected. Yet an Ipsos survey shows 36% of Britons already save for planned events like holidays and special occasions. The rest rely on credit or hope. List every non-monthly bill for the next 12 months. Total the lot, divide by 12, and feed that figure into a dedicated sinking fund account each payday. When the expense hits, the cash is calmly waiting. No panic, no interest charges. Habit 8, separate account system. Behavioral economics research shows we're far less likely to raid money once it's mentally parked in a specific bucket. Hence the power of multiple named sub-accounts like rainy day, new laptop, investing. Most banking apps now let you spin up free pots in seconds. Funnel each portion of your income into its job-labeled slot within 24 hours of getting paid. Suddenly, overspending means stealing from future house deposit, which feels a lot harder than tapping an undifferentiated lump sum. Habit 9. Fire up your polite no muscle. Friends, message drinks tonight. Your thumb hovers, your budget pleads. In an Aqua survey, 28% of UK adults admit FOMO directly pushes them to overspend. Treat no like a muscle. Rehearse 2 friendly exit lines. Pre-budget 1 monthly splurge you can accept guilt-free. And remember, every declined £30 outing is £360, still compounding after 12 months. Habit 10. Shop the off-season, not the hype. Retailers beg for your cash in December, then slash prices when the tinsel drops. Boxing Day clear-outs regularly hit 50 to 75% off at major chains. Money-saving experts 50-item tracker found post-Christmas 28th December, prices averaged another 17% below both Black Friday and mid-December tags. Keep a wish list, set a calendar alert for 27th December, and buy next year's gifts when others nurse their spending hangover. Habit 11. Run a monthly money huddle. Academic work across 6 studies shows that couples who schedule regular money talks report stronger financial health. Yet most partners dread the conversation more than the reality. Fidelity's 2024 Couples and Money Survey still finds 45% of pairs argue about cash at least occasionally. Block 15 minutes on the first Sunday, share 3 numbers, income in, outgoings, goal progress, and finish with 1 quick win each. Agendas beat arguments. The habit turns my money, your money, into our mission. Habit 12. Time-rich hangouts. Restaurants and hotels still soak up 7% of the average UK household budget even after a post-pandemic pullback. Yet Cardlytics data shows we now pay 7% more per plate while visiting sit-downs 13% less often. Inflation is stealth taxing your social life. Swap one Friday dinner out for a rotating home-cooked club or a free entry park picnic. You'll gain quieter conversation, zero service charge, and roughly 35 to 50 pounds back in your pocket each time. Habit 13, the tiny saver piggy bank. Automation beats willpower. Users who flip on Plum's automatic rule stash £53 and 58 pence extra every month £642.98 a year without noticing. Replicate the magic with any roundup feature or a literal coin jar by the door. Every tap of the card rounds up. Every coin gets buried instead of lost in sofa cushions. Label the pot after a fun goal. Habit 14. Money conversations without cringe. Taboo is expensive. While 56% of Brits now feel okay chatting money with friends, 1 in 5 still squirm, often leaving budgets unspoken and peer pressure unchecked. Try a simple script. My budget's £25 tonight. Anyone fancy something low-key? Open disclosure sets expectations, kills surprise bills, and builds accountability. Research links comfort talkers to stronger overall financial health. If shame kicks in, remember a quarter of adults are silent savers who never discuss their stash. Talking puts you ahead. Habit 15. The glass technique drops. Big numbers feel daunting. Drips don't. Round up or auto siphon whatever's left in your current account the night before payday. Users who flick on Plum's automatic rule stash an average £53.58 extra every month. £642.98 a year without feeling a pinch. Whether it's an app doing the sweep or a coins in jar ritual by the front door, every stray pound becomes a stealth shareholder in your future self. Habit 16. One money book a month. Financial literacy researchers keep finding the same pattern. People who actively study the subject make sharper decisions and carry lighter debt loads. Reading remains the cheapest gateway. Libraries, used paperbacks, or Kindle Unlimited all beat the cost of trial and error tuition. Recent coverage in the week ranked Start with a beginner title, Level Up each month as step number 1 for adult money mastery. Choose 12 titles for the year. Schedule them like Netflix episodes. And note 1 actionable takeaway per book. Habit 17. 90-day experiment. Change sticks when you treat it like a lab test, not a life sentence. UCL's landmark study on habit formation pegs the average automaticity point at 66 days, with some behaviors taking up to 254. So a quarterly test window gives any system a fair shot. Pick one tweak, cash-only weekends, run it for 3 months, keep what clicks, scrap what doesn't, and roll a fresh experiment next quarter. Habit 18. Excuse audit. 1 in 5 UK employees admit they save nothing because they can't afford to, even though many of them still make discretionary purchases every week. The fastest way to shatter that narrative is to move £1 right now from your spending account into any labeled pot. The transfer itself rewires identity. You're suddenly a saver, not a spectator. Repeat the £1 move every time you catch yourself saying, I'll start next month, and watch how quickly the habit outgrows the token amount. Habit 19. Quarterly subscription purge. Britons burned through £688 million last year on subscriptions they never used. Everything from forgotten fitness apps to gourmet coffee clubs. Schedule a 15-minute graveyard sweep every 3 months. Open your banking app, filter for repeat charges, and grade each one, keep, downgrade, or cancel. Even trimming £27.99 services frees £192 a year. Money that belongs in your Goal 5 pot, not a vendor's balance sheet. Habit 20. Health cost killers. A pack-a-day smoker now lays out about £2,338 a year, more than many UK households spend on an annual food shop. Alcohol isn't far behind. The average household parts with £790 96 pounds every year on drink alone. Slice either habit in half and you instantly redirect 1,500 plus pounds toward debt payoff, an emergency fund, or your first index fund buy-in. Bonus upside, lower medical bills, and more productive years to enjoy the compounding you've just unlocked. 20 habits, 5 simple categories, 1 clear outcome. Your cash stops leaking and starts compounding while you sleep. Cut the auto spend circuit, fewer grocery gauntlets, no unused gym fees. Take away coffee turned into instant savings. Point every pound on purpose. 1 named goal. Automatic reward loop, sinking fund calendar, job labeled accounts. Defend your cash flow. A trained, polite no, off-season deals, and a 15-minute monthly money huddle that turns arguments into agendas. Live rich on less. Swap pricey meetups for memory makers. Funnel every stray coin to a goal and normalize cash talk. Micro compound and delete drainers, £1 excuse breakers, quarterly subscription purges, and health choices that buy both years and yield. The takeaway: wealth isn't built in giant heroic gestures. It's forged in everyday defaults you barely notice once they're automated. Your next move: pick just 1 habit you don't already own and lock it in for the next 90 days. Then tell us in the comments, which single change do you bet will survive the next recession, and which bad habit is most likely to bankrupt the unprepared?